Listen, in my opinion, I think we just need to change the way we talk about games. I think we need to change the way we disparage games and how we complain about games to a certain extent. Hear me out. This morning, on a Monday, a week after the expansion, I jumped into a chest run in Merkgard that was so full of people that the people were not even loading in. Okay, like, as I moved from left to right, people would appear and disappear. There were so many people there that the server was just like, no, I can't show all of them to you. Alright? There are so many people Monday morning playing New World. It's crazy. It's insane. And I know a lot of people have said, well, you know, the game's gotten better and people have improved stuff, they've improved stuff, and yeah, and now it's good to play. Hear me out as I run through a Siren ECR, an elite chest run in Sirens in Reekwater. Ow! Please don't do that. Someone kill that person. As I run through a Siren ECR with, once again, a lot of people, some of whom are probably phasing out as well, like it was in Merkgard just before I started recording this. You can say all you want, I'm up here, that the game's improved and that they've, you know, added more stuff to do and yada yada yada. And you're correct. You're 100% correct. However, the content we are doing right now, you could have done in 2021. Okay? This is not new stuff. This is an elite chest run, which is just as valuable in the meta as it was back then, and it was 2 years ago, and it was a year ago, in my opinion. ECRs have been a part of New World since basically the beginning. I remember doing Merkgard and Siren runs back when the game was launched. I bring this up because I think it's important to point out that so many people are coming back to the game and hype about the game, and the game is full of players, and there's queue times all the time, it seems like. And I think the difference is not the things it's not just the things that they added to the game. I think the biggest difference is the way people are talking about it. I don't think, it is my personal opinion, that the game has not improved so drastically much since I started playing it in 2021 till now, that the game went from absolute dog water, trash failure of a game, an MMO that had potential and will never be anything more than that, to the hype we're seeing right now of people playing the game. I don't think that the game has improved so much that this narrative should be as widespread and felt by as many players as it is. The content you see all these people doing right now was available 4 years ago. A lot of the content you see people doing was available the past several years at the very least. The things that they've added to the game that are making people feel like they're getting so much more out of the... Okay, we're not putting it there. The things that they've added that are quote-unquote making people feel like the game is so much better and has improved so much, those things are like really buggy right now, or too hard for most of the player base to even partake in. Right? And I'll go over them again. I did it a little bit earlier because I was talking about it, but I wasn't recording, and I remembered like, talking about this, I probably should be recording. But so much of the content has been available, and only a couple things are truly new to right now. And I just think that the only thing that's really changed is how people are talking about it. The long story short is, people are excited about the changes they've made, and rightfully so, but the excitement around the changes is probably more important than the actual effects of the changes as of right now. Because let's go over them. The first one, Catacombs. Catacombs are such a buggy mess right now. They're basically unplayable. And I know you could go on YouTube and you can find someone clearing all 6 bosses and getting a huge reward and whatnot. I disagree with that guy. I 100% do, because I actually craft stuff. Catacombs are such a buggy mess right now that my friends, I'll hit up my friends and be like, hey, let's do some catacombs. And they're like, yeah, I've done 6 today, and every single one of them's bugged my exit portal, and I got, you know, way fewer rewards than I should have, because it's so bugged right now. They just can't, like, I can't do another run. It's heartbreaking at this point. It's just a waste of time. All right. The other biggest thing would be the new raid, which most of these people can't re-clear the old raid since they've upscaled it. So there's no way they're doing the new raid, right? It's just funny because it's like, yeah, they've added all this quote-unquote new content that you guys aren't even doing because you just don't have the gear, and you don't, maybe honest, you don't have the chops. A lot of these players just aren't good enough at the content. They can't do M3s, right? They don't have the gear. They don't have the know-how. Hey, buddy. That guy's explosive. I might have just killed a bunch of people. I'm so sorry in advance to all the people who are going to die by my hand right here. Okay, well, I'm going to drink a potion, and I'm getting out of there. Hopefully people don't die. I just think that the biggest thing that's changed in this game is the way people are talking about it. People are so excited for the changes. The changes haven't really changed much because they're buggy and whatnot. And people can't even play them because they're not good enough, skilled enough, don't have a group, yada yada yada. But yet all the people are logging on and doing content that you could have easily done back in 2021. And the only difference is people are talking about the game more positively. Okay? There is more content. You're not doing it. Most likely, most of the people who watch this video, you're not clearing the new raid, right? You're not even probably doing polls on it. Alright? Is there something back here? There is. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about this. I always forget about this chest. Someone is spreading X for Isle of Night right now. I kind of want to get in. Just to see. Just to kind of prove my point. You're not doing meaningful progression on the new raid. You're not, you know, doing the upscaled M3s for the 4-slot armor. You're not... If you are doing catacombs, you're not clearing 6 bosses and exiting with any level of frequency for the maximum reward. Probably not even getting close. My buddy just told me this morning, actually, he's like, yeah, I'm actually getting like 4 bosses now, and you know, if it's not bugged, I'm getting out, which is nice, right? Heck, we'll do the raid. We'll see if I can get in the raid. Look at this content that's been around since 2021. Oh, they upscaled her to 70. It's probably still quite an easy fight. But who knows what rewards this even gives. Probably something decent now that they've upscaled it. But they hadn't upscaled that in a while. But once you do this once or twice, like, unless the rewards are really, really good, why would you want to do it anymore? It's not difficult. It's not difficult content at all. I don't know. What I'm trying to get at is so many people are acting like the game is good now. In my opinion, the game has been good. There has been pain points, yes, but those pain points haven't gone away. All right, the pain points are still there. This, Catacombs, great idea. Lots of fun. Still a pain point because it doesn't work. It's so bugged right now. Expeditions? No one does regular expeditions. They basically killed them. You do an expedition so that you can host your own M1s for mutators, all right? Leveling people barely do expeditions because they changed the way leveling works because everyone complained that it was too slow, and so they just made it and too reliant on group content, so they made it a whole solo experience, which is a bummer, in my opinion. I know people don't all share that. Mutators, most people can't do anything above an M2, and I would argue that most players aren't going above M2. They're doing M1s to get the artifacts. They can't even either find consistent, successful M2 groups, and they definitely can't do M3s for the 4-slot stuff. Most people can't clear the old raid because they upscaled it, and they were not good players to begin with. They just had gear good enough and enough hard carries that they made it through. They weren't actually good at the mechanics. So people are now, a week after the expansion, just getting to the point where they can clear the old raid with any level of consistency and farm the bosses. And most people can't even get past the first boss in the new raid, / aren't even doing it. Soul trials exist so that once a day you can spend 12 minutes attempting to get charms. They're a joke. They've always been a joke. That's not new. Season trials, kind of the same thing, and I'm pretty sure they're not that difficult right now anyways, but I haven't heard that the rewards are good enough to even try. And the sandworm is too hard for a lot of groups to do. I know of several groups who farmed the sandworm on repeat last season who were struggling the first week to even clear it. So, and guess what? They have released another new outpost rush map. So good job, devs, A+. But you know, besides the PvP, which hasn't changed that much, we do have capture the flag. We do have a new outpost rush map, and you know, our new arenas and whatnot. But generally speaking, the game had a lot of stuff to do. It just, the rewards weren't quite there, the balance wasn't quite there, and the frequency at which they added new flavors to the mix, is like in outpost rush maps, was way too slow. Agreed. The game is better now, 100%. But the game wasn't trash before, and now it's amazing, and now everyone's flooding servers. We were just talking about the game like it's trash because we were being impatient, and the devs were being slow. Both things, I believe, can be true. That's my opinion. Both things were true. The devs were taking way too long to release new flavors, such as new outpost rush maps. However, the way we talked about it was always just doomsday, doom and gloom, and so people stopped playing the game. Then the expansion comes out, people start talking more positively, especially after how, you know, the positive feedback from the last expansion. Then they make the expansion free for old players, and now everyone's flooding the servers and talking about what a great time they're having because they didn't want to pay, what was it, like $20, $25 for the expansion? I don't know. Sorry, saw something. It wasn't that expensive. I don't know. It just really seems like people were just whining to whine, and it was negatively affecting the game because the game actually wasn't that bad. There's still plenty. Because my point, at the end of the day, I think what my point is, there are still plenty of pain points in the game, plenty of things that don't work, plenty of content that you can't even engage in right now. And yet we're talking about it like it's a triumph and the game is back and people love this game now all of a sudden. It's like people have loved this game and will continue to love this game. You need to stop talking about everything this game does like it's doomsday and then wonder where all the players went. And then say, oh, the players are all gone because AGS is failing here and there. AGS is making mistakes and doesn't have the cleanest output right now, if you know what I mean, in terms of new content and fixing bugs and stuff. Yes, 100%. 90% of the problem, in my opinion, is how we are all talking about it. And I shit on this game, but I love this game. And I have always been a champion for this game. How much I enjoy this game, how much I love this game, how I think there's still plenty of things to do in this game, and how I like all the different aspects of this game. I am very overall positive about this game, and the negative things I bring up are, you know, obviously because they're pain points. Catacombs not working sucks, man. We all agree. We all agree that it sucks that it's not working because we all want to play it because it's really fun and really cool and really neat. But let's all stop pretending that the first and foremost problem was that the game was bad, right? The first and foremost problem is the fact that we were just talking about it so negatively that people, you know, especially new players, some new players just heard crap about this game. So many people were like, hey, people will hop into my stream and be like, hey, is this game good? I've only heard bad things about this game, but now people are saying it's, I'm like, yeah, people are now changing, you know, the way they speak about it. But honestly, I'm doing a chest run. Right now, I am doing a chest run. I'm really far behind the group because I've been yapping. I'm doing a chest run that I could have and did do back in 2021. All right. And I'm doing it, sure, to partially get stuff that's new in the expansion. They, you know, did make old content relevant for getting this stuff or whatever. But it's not like this content hasn't existed and I couldn't be doing this chest run for good rewards, you know, a year ago, 2 years ago. It just baffles me that people see flashy new things and say, game is back, game is good now, game is finally good, come back and play it. And now players are like rushing into the servers. There's queue times. They're talking about how fun the game is and how much more they're enjoying it. And I'm like, bro, I've been playing this game a lot since release. There's actually people in my company who are like, oh, you've been around since release? I heard those days were rough. And I'm like, yeah, they were rough, but I would love to, like, hold up, you know, for them to, like, I would love to go to my stream, clip my stream, and then send it to them and be like, here's you complaining about the game right now 5 seconds ago. It's still rough. There are still pain points. There are still bugs. There are still things that are frustrating. That has always been the case. It's just the way we talk about it that has brought players back to the game, and obviously the free people love free, but they're not having more fun because the game is free, you know, right? The expansion's free. That's not how that works. They're having fun because people are talking about it positively, and everyone's, oh, finally I got a charm. They're having fun because people aren't being huge negative billies about it, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I remember whether there used to be chests down here. You used to be able to get those 2 chests. But anyways, I digress. I'm just, you know, old man yells at cloud. I've been around since the beginning. I'm just saying that if we can, as people who never gave up on New World, and I'm kind of doing a shout out to the content creators much larger than me in the New World community. You know who you are. If you keep talking about this game negatively and expect magically different results, I don't know how to help you. You're talking about it positively right now, and look at what's happened. Sure, the free helps. AGS actually releasing new content helps, but like I said, this content, people aren't doing this content because it's either bugged or they're not good enough. They're not, you know, and they're still coming back to the game and they're still having fun. We need to be more positive about how we talk about this game. Don't, you know, don't ignore the problems. Don't pretend like everything's fine, but stop talking about the game like it's already dead and then wonder why it's dying. My 2 cents. My 2 cents. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. I'm going to be busy playing the game. I'm going to be busy enjoying the game. And there are things I can legitimately complain about this new patch. And I do have complaints. I do have worries. I do have questions about how they're going forward. But I'm not going to talk about it as if the game is dying. I'm talking about it as I'm wondering how they're going to approach this problem. I'm wondering how they're going to fix Catacombs, because when they announced Catacombs, I'm like, that's a big project that's going to be full of bugs. How are they going to keep this, like, bug-free and consistent? A good, consistent experience. That seems challenging. And week 1, it has been a challenge. But I'm just reframing the way I'm talking about it because I'm tired of people shitting on this game and wondering why it's doing poorly after they've been shitting on it for so long. Oh, surprise. That's how it works. You know, I don't know. I don't know. My 2 cents. Where did my ECR group go? Where are they? Oh, they're doing Brimstone. I am very far behind. Well, I don't need to do Brimstone anyways. So, that's it for me. You can come watch me live at twitch.tv/hotdogbaglady. I've been grinding a lot of New World. This is kind of like the last week of me hardcore grinding New World because I start job, I go on vacation, yada yada yada. But I will still be playing this game pretty much nonstop for the foreseeable future. Whenever I'm playing, I'll be streaming. So you can find me on Twitter and obviously here on YouTube and on Instagram. Everything's Hot Dog Bag Lady. See you next time.